Tonight we'll wander slowly through quiet courtyards and shaded corridors, and there is nothing to follow and nothing to remember, only the gentle rhythm of a calm voice. And you can let your thoughts loosen and drift as softly as evening air, moving through tall stone arches. And if your mind begins to wander, that is perfectly fine, because this is a place where nothing is required of you, and nothing needs to be held onto, and you are free to simply move gently through these spaces, without purpose, without direction, without any need to arrive anywhere at all. Night settles over the wide palace terraces in a way that feels patient and unhurried, as if the darkness itself understands that the day has been long and now everything must soften, and the last traces of warmth leave the stone floors that held the sun all afternoon, and the air begins to cool just enough to make the silence feel comfortable rather than empty. And lamps burn quietly in alcoves along the walls, not to illuminate, but simply to glow, their light resting gently against carved pillars and smooth plaster surfaces that seem to breathe out the heat they stored from the day, releasing it slowly into the calm of the evening, where nothing moves quickly and nothing asks for attention. Servants move slowly through the corridors with unspoken understanding, their footsteps quiet against the flat stone, their hands carrying small clay bowls for oil to refresh the lamps one by one. And no one rushes, because there is no reason to rush. And the palace at night is less a place of activity and more a place of gentle maintenance, where things are not done quickly, but carefully, as if preserving the calm is more important than finishing the task. And each small movement is performed with the awareness that the night itself should not be disturbed. Beyond the inner walls, the gardens rest in ordered stillness, with long channels of water running straight through the dark earth, reflecting faint lamplight like narrow ribbons of quiet silver, and the leaves of the trees barely move, not because there is no wind, but because the air itself seems to pass gently through the branches without disturbing them. And somewhere in the distance, water drips from a stone spout into a shallow basin with a rhythm so slow and steady it becomes part of the silence rather than interrupting it, blending into the background of the night like a distant memory that never quite fades. The scent of damp soil mixes softly with the dry warmth of stone that is slowly releasing the heat of the day, and this mixture lingers gently in the air without becoming noticeable, simply existing as part of the space, part of the night, part of the calm that fills every courtyard and every passageway. And you can almost feel this air moving slowly past your skin as you imagine walking through these quiet paths without needing to be anywhere. In the outer courtyards, guards stand at their posts with spears resting lightly against their shoulders, not alert in the way of daylight, but settled into the kind of watchfulness that comes when the world has become predictable. And they shift their weight from one foot to the other in slow patterns that match the quiet of the night, and their eyes follow shadows more out of habit than concern. The long stone hallways hold the coolness of evening in their air, and each doorway opens into another dim space where curtains hang motionless, and low tables rest without disturbance, and the faint smell of oil from the lamps mixes with the scent of dry plaster and polished wood, creating an atmosphere that feels familiar and calm, like a place that has been this way for many nights before, and will be this way for many nights after, unchanged by the passing of days. Farther out, where the palace walls meet the open land, the desert night stretches outward in soft darkness, and the stars appear without hurry in the sky, not sharp or bright, but scattered gently, like distant points of quiet light, and the land itself seems to flatten into stillness, as if the world has been pressed gently down by the weight of night. Inside the sleeping chambers, thick woven carpets soften every step and every sound, and heavy curtains hang across doorways to hold the night air in place, and clay vessels filled with water sit near the walls to keep the room from drying too much as the air cools, and people lie on low bedding made of layered fabrics that hold warmth without trapping it, and their breathing falls into slow patterns that match the quiet rhythm of the palace itself. In the kitchens, The fires have long since burned low, and the coals rest under a thin layer of ash that glows faintly when stirred. And the smell of baked bread lingers in the warm stone of the ovens, and wooden bowls lie where they were last set down, and the room feels less like a place of work and more like a place that has been allowed to rest until morning returns again. And slowly, without anyone noticing the exact moment, the palace settles fully into rest, where footsteps stop entirely and voices fade into silence, and the only remaining sounds are the small natural ones that belong to night itself, the faint movement of air, the occasional drip of water, the soft shifting of fabric as someone turns in sleep. And you can imagine yourself walking slowly through these spaces without needing to arrive anywhere, letting the quiet surround you and letting the rhythm of this place guide your breathing into slower and softer patterns, until the voice you are listening to feels like part of the night itself, and you can allow yourself to drift gently and comfortably into rest. And even as you drift through these quiet spaces, more courtyards seem to appear gently in your mind, each one familiar in shape and calm in feeling, with square pools of still water resting in the center, reflecting the faint glow of lamps from the surrounding walls. And the surface of the water does not ripple or move, but simply holds the light, as if it too has settled into rest for the night. And you pass by these pools without needing to stop or look closely, simply aware that they exist as part of the calm that surrounds you. You move along stone pathways that feel cooler now beneath your feet, where the warmth of the day has fully faded from the surface, and the air here feels slightly heavier with quiet.
As if the walls themselves are gently holding the silence in place, so it does not escape into the open night. And even your imagined footsteps make no sound here,
because everything in this place seems to welcome stillness above all else. Doorways open into dim rooms where low tables sit undisturbed, where folded fabrics rest neatly in the corners, where clay vessels stand silently against the walls, and nothing in these rooms suggests movement or urgency. Only the quiet understanding that everything has been left exactly as it should be until morning returns again. The gardens appear again, symmetrical and calm, with their straight channels of water and evenly spaced trees, and the faint scent of soil and leaves drifts through the air without becoming noticeable, simply existing as part of the night. And the stillness here feels as intentional as the design of the garden itself, where nothing grows wildly and nothing interrupts the gentle order of the space. You pass more guards standing quietly in familiar positions, their silhouettes barely shifting in the low light, and their presence feels less like watchfulness and more like part of the pattern of the night, part of the rhythm that fills every courtyard and corridor within these walls. A faint breeze moves through the trees without sound, and the leaves respond so gently that their movement is almost invisible, and the air that passes through carries a coolness that rests lightly on your skin, neither warm nor cold, simply comfortable in a way that asks nothing of you. And as you continue, the palace seems larger than before, revealing more courtyards and more passageways that all share the same calm, and you realize that this place at night is defined not by activity, but by the absence of it, by the gentle quiet that fills every space without effort. You move again through long corridors where the lamps burn steadily in their alcoves, their flames so calm they seem almost unmoving, and the light they give off is soft and warm, touching the stone walls without brightening them, simply resting against the surfaces as part of the night. Curtains hang motionless in doorways, and a faint smell of oil from the lamps mixes with the scent of dry stone and polished wood, creating an atmosphere that feels familiar and steady, like a place that has existed in this same calm for countless nights before. Somewhere in the distance, a door closes softly, not with a sound that startles, but with one that blends into the background of the night, becoming part of the quiet rather than interrupting it. And the air continues to move slowly through the corridors, passing from one space into the next without disturbing anything at all. And you allow yourself to drift even more deeply into this rhythm, letting the repeated patterns of corridors and rooms and gardens blend together into one continuous experience of calm, where nothing stands out and nothing needs to. And as this gentle wandering continues without change, without interruption, the palace remains exactly as it has been throughout the night, still, warm, softly lit, and endlessly quiet. And you can let yourself move through it without effort, without thought, simply allowing the calm to guide you. More rooms pass by in the same steady pattern, where low benches rest against the walls, where small alcoves hold lamps that burn with patient light, where stone floors stretch out beneath you without variation, and everything in this place feels designed to welcome stillness. The air remains cool and comfortable, the silence remains whole and undisturbed, and the rhythm of this place becomes slower and softer until it feels almost like part of your own breathing, rising and falling gently without you needing to control it. And as the night continues around you, the palace holds its quiet spaces without effort, and you can allow yourself to drift in the same way, without effort, without thought, letting the gentle steadiness of this place carry you slowly and comfortably into rest.